Hi, I'm Scott and welcome back to my channel. If you are the first time here, I am a full-time reseller with my wife. We sell on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and Facebook Marketplace. And we've been doing that since about 2018. In my previous life, I was a school superintendent, principal, and teacher. And today, this episode, there's a little bit of overlap between those two worlds. I'm going to share with you an FFA Sweetheart Jacket. And when I was pulling together information to share, I realized there's not a whole lot out there about exactly what that is and what it means. And so hopefully this will be a resource for somebody else in the future. I worked in a small rural Texas school, and if you don't know what the FFA is, it's the Future Farmers of America. And it's one of the most important programs that we have available for kids anywhere in the United States. It's an absolutely incredible program. Part of my belief in that is that I worked in a little school with a lady who was the head of our FFA, who, by all accounts, not just mine, is probably the finest in the state. She is an absolutely incredible teacher. There's not anybody more dedicated to it. And the fact that she was female, and I'm going to talk about Sweetheart Jackets, when I learned what these were, it just kind of blew me away that they existed, what they were, and what they stood for. The FFA has been around a very, very long time, well back into the 30s and probably before that. I didn't look up the start date. And what it was is a training program that was pretty much just for boys. And the jackets haven't changed much since the very beginning. They're basically the same shape. Very few details have changed over the years. They're iconic. And in their own right, the blue FFA jackets are highly collectible. By 1949, the national FFA just basically said the girls can't wear these. They're not full-fledged members, and they can't buy or wear the blue FFA jackets. Between 1949 and 1969 at the national level, the girls were pretty much relegated to a white jacket. They would either be the corduroy, similar to the boys, or they could get one that was either rayon or like a cotton sateen. But it wouldn't say, FFA on it like the boys. It would say the chapter Sweetheart. Some of them said chapter Queen. They could kind of pick between that. The national FFA never officially sanctioned Sweetheart positions, but they did sell the merchandise. And at the national level, they started allowing girls full-fledged membership in '69, but they continued selling Sweetheart gear, Sweetheart clothing and things up until 1992-93. And so, because it varied a lot at the state levels, you will still see them go all the way into the late 80s. You can imagine that they became less and less popular over time as girls were full-fledged members. They didn't want the white jacket. Small and rural schools probably changed the slowest. So I have found a few of these in the past. I have had one of the 1940s ones in the blue rayon, and I have had a couple of the white ones in the corduroy. And today I picked up one of the white satin jackets from the 70s, and it was interesting enough that I thought I would share it, but I wanted you to have some background on what that meant. This particular jacket is from 1974, and I'm going to show you some of the things to look for on basically any FFA jacket and what makes them rare and popular today. So I'll grab it. You'll notice that even on the satin jacket, the shape is pretty much the same as the regular corduroy ones that you're used to seeing. There are a couple of things to note that you should also look for. You'll see that there is chain stitching. Even today, the FFA jackets, when done through the FFA, the information on those is chain stitched. And if it hasn't been taken off, there will be an FFA agricultural seal on there. One of the other things that you really should look for, a couple of things. If it's an older jacket, there should be The zipper should be a Talon zipper. A little bit later, you get into the 80s and 90s, you'll see some of them that will be a YKK. And if you look carefully, just below your size tag, there should be a manufacturer's tag. Manufacturer's tags became more popular the closer you got to the 1970s, and then they were required by 1971, I think. But like on this one, you'll notice that it is official gear from the FFA, and that's one of the things you really want to look for if you're planning on reselling it. So one of the questions I get is, who's actually interested in that? It's the lady that I picked this up from. She just couldn't believe that somebody would want it. Is who's going to wear it? Well, they don't all get worn. Some of them go straight to places that are going to put them up in a display. This one didn't say the school on it, so it's not one that would be highly collectible back at the school. But a lot of people do wear them. Everything from the blue corduroy to the Sweetheart Jackets. They're just cool. And they've been around long enough that the cool factor isn't going to go away. So thought y'all might find that interesting. Sweetheart Jackets are awesome. Oh, one thing I didn't point out. Normally on FFA jackets, on the boys, you will see a large state seal on the back. And it doesn't mean they don't exist, but I haven't ever found or seen a Sweetheart jacket that had that. So I don't know if they couldn't get it or just didn't get it. But it's typical that you won't see it with that. Like I said earlier, FFA is so incredibly important. I want to give a shout out. I know my teacher that I worked with here in Penelope was one of the most dedicated people ever. Probably the only people more dedicated than FFA teachers are the FFA students. If you're not involved in education, you can't imagine what it takes for a kid to do the things that are required in the FFA to be successful within that program, and then still tend to everything that you're responsible for at school. And that program teaches these kids to do that and to do it really, really well. So shout out to all the FFA teachers, and a bigger shout out to all of the kids who are involved in the program. Shout out to everybody who saved these historical pieces. And that's it for me. I hope y'all found that interesting. I am glad you're here, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.